It is the Riot Podcast, Tuesday, August 23rd. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome in.
Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
I feel like you've been harsher on Isaiah today. Not as welcoming to join him into the conversation, but just you're really hitting him with some things.
I'm just...
you said you're not his friend.
We're just joshing.
You're just
you can
teasing.
say anything if you say we're just joshing.
You're just
afterwards.
kidding him?
Yeah,
Okay. Isaiah, do you feel like
He's been quite the jokester today.
Okay.
He has had some jokes today. You guys will hear them, and you can decide if they were good or not. Today during the show, we talked about a company forcing people to swallow raw eggs as a punishment.
So you like raw eggs, don't you?
I do. I don't think that's really much of a punishment.
It doesn't bother you?
No, not really. I think I've eaten a lot of raw eggs in my lifetime. I've never gotten sick. I don't think they taste bad either.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I think if that's my punishment, that's okay.
Well, listen to the story because you'll find there's an alternate punishment. And then we also talk about a couple other places in China in the past years that have gotten in trouble, and they're making you eat something way worse than a raw egg.
Yeah. Now, for you, would you have you had raw eggs just straight up, or is it always mixed in with something?
I've never done it just a crack in the mouth. I've always had it mixed in with something else.
You should do that.
What do you mix it in with? Just protein?
Try it.
Yeah, like mainly just protein.
But protein is enough protein.
Yeah, but it's a little bit extra protein. It's never bad.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, it doesn't really change. It changes like the consistency a little bit, but it doesn't add any flavor.
You guys ever done that thing where you crack an egg in your coffee?
No, but some
No.
people say that's pretty
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I could consider that.
good. If the coffee's too hot, wouldn't it just make it like scramble it a tiny bit?
I guess it might,
You'd
yeah.
have
Is that what would happen?
That
Yeah,
doesn't
you
sound
know.
good, though.
Yeah, you'd have to
That
watch
doesn't
it.
sound good at all.
No. Let's just dump here we got some scrambled eggs left over. Let's dump them in the coffee.
I mean, guys, I do feel like every time you're just saying, well, I got to get my protein in somehow.
Yeah, right.
the protein in.
Exactly. You got to do what you got to do.
We also talked about some fantasy football nicknames and team names as we are closing in on the start of the RadioU fantasy football season.
And Nikki, you'll hear us go through a bunch of options, but she did eventually settle on one, didn't you?
I did, yep. Or do you want me to say it?
But we didn't even say it in the break. We came up with it afterwards. So yeah, go ahead.
So I guess it's an old dance or like an old football thing called the shuffle, or what is it?
The Icky Shuffle.
The Icky Shuffle. And so Nikki sounds like Icky.
Yeah.
So now the Nikki Shuffle.
Nikki Shuffle is my fantasy football team.
Are you going to do your own dance?
I don't
like
know
when you win or something?
I don't know what it looks like, so I need to.
It's like
I'm
a
gonna
little
need to watch
bounce.
it.
It's like a bounce, like 3 times to the right and then 3 times to the left. It's
Yeah.
really easy. It goes like this, this.
You're adding too much now. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
it's really easy. He kind of just extends his arm and bounces to the right. It was an old Cincinnati Bengals running back.
Yeah.
His name was Icky Woods.
What a
Real
guy.
good player.
What
Well,
a guy.
I'm excited to have the team name, and I'm ready for the fantasy football season.
We also talked about how Instagram is yet again trying to rip off another social media. This time it's BeReal.
Yeah, we did, and I really am going to think about joining up with BeReal in a way. 1, to stick it to Instagram, and 2, because it sounds like I think I could thrive on BeReal.
You could do it?
I think I could.
That's
yeah.
the one that you think that would work for you the best, being real?
I think so. Yeah, I'm a real type of guy. I don't like to make stuff
I
up.
don't think I can actually believe anything you're saying this morning.
Why not?
And I'm not believing any of that.
Why not? Just because I lied about watching Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, doesn't mean I'm lying about every other thing that I ever
Well,
say.
it's mostly because you get this tone about you when you're saying it. And so I feel like we're in the tone right now.
That's
we're in the zone, we're in the tone.
That's my real tone.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You slow down a tiny bit, and
that's when you know I'm
you're
being
lying.
real.
Yeah.
That's
And you're not. All right. Well, enjoy the podcast today. Definitely text us and say hi at 877-2-RADIO-U. And I guess just listen throughout the podcast for his tone. And
see
you'll
if you
hear
can spot it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The real talk.
Have a great day.
See you guys.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
So, Isaiah, you're an Ohio State fan. Nikki, so are you, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
You guys love the Ohio State University. How much do you love it? Because I've got an
Do
opportunity
we have to
for
start
you.
paying now for things? No.
Well,
I
you
like it.
already
I like
pay.
it a lot.
You already pay, which means you really should be getting more for bang for your buck. They should be winning championships with all the money they take out of your taxes. Anyways, Ohio State, it looks like their team, their football team, is partnering with a company called FanJolt. Have you heard of it?
I have not.
It is a company that allows fans to pay to connect directly with celebrities. For example, they already offer connections with like Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. I'm assuming he's an investor. Maybe this company was even on Shark Tank. I haven't watched it in a while. Also, the singer Jewel. I love that these are the examples they're using. But now, Ohio State Buckeyes football players may be showing up on the service as well. And what the service allows you to do is basically you pay and you could get these stars, these celebrities, these athletes to follow you on Instagram, to even send you videos, in other words, Cameo.
It feels like Cameo, but just more directed to Instagram. But like, okay, so it says $50 to like have them follow you.
Uh-huh.
Is that a month or is that a week or one time? Or
You have to subscribe
It's got to be a one-time payment, right?
well, then
Depends on who it
How long
is.
do they follow you for?
they
'Cause
got
they're
to
not
follow you
gonna-
forever.
No, not for $50.
Yes, they will.
No, there has to be an out for them.
I'm thinking that like they just won't care about their Instagram anymore if they're willing to do this. They're
Or
just
maybe-
willing to just follow whoever.
This is like their, OSU football Instagram,
Yeah.
like their player one, but not like maybe their personal.
So how much, or let me ask this because it's about Instagram. Can you, because this is what I can do on Twitter, I'll follow somebody and then I'll mute them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you can do that on Instagram too?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
So I'd be like, why not follow you forever for $50?
Well, what if they become like a pro player and then they're all big stuff and then they have a
Then
new...
they can start charging more.
I know, they have
to
a new
mute people. Yeah, they can up their prices as they go, but for now they're just college athletes getting their start. So $50 feels appropriate. Is that what would? Can you think of any? I mean, Buckeyes or just anybody that you guys would pay $50 to have follow you on Instagram?
Well, I'm worried though, because like Isaiah, I'm looking here. You can pay $999 through the site to get a personal fan video from someone.
Kevin O'Leary
okay,
from
so that's the Shark Tank guy?
Mr. Wonderful.
And then an Instagram follow from like someone else, from a singer, costs $299.
Uh-huh.
So the $50
Feels like a steal.
it does, I guess. Maybe that's because there's rules still on how much they can make on things.
I wonder if that's you think 50 is the minimum? Or do you think there's cheaper people on there that will follow you?
Oh, that'd be kind of messed up for the team. If you're like the worst player, maybe you're $10. If you're like CJ Stroud, maybe you're like $300 to get the follow.
That'll make them upset with each other.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is a great idea, though. Not for like me. Like I'm not gonna pay $50 for one of them to follow me. But if you had like a 5-year-old or 6-year-old, there's like a big Buckeyes fan who had like Instagram, which
like
they
for
do.
birthday.
Yeah, they do. And so like if you're like a second grader and then your like parents like pay like $50 or whatever to have CJ Stroud or whoever their favorite Ohio State player is, like follow them on Instagram. For them, that'd be really cool and be really genuine, and they wouldn't know that
It wouldn't
their parents.
be really genuine. It's like
Well, they wouldn't know that
They
it's
wouldn't know
not.
that they're
Yeah,
in like
but
second grade. Like they're not gonna be able to know that their parents paid for it.
If
You know?
you're a player
Well, they paid for a friend.
for
Yeah,
Ohio,
exactly.
for Ohio State, you should just follow children. Well, I guess that's kind of weird.
You
but
should just follow children.
Somebody asked you,
You
to
should just
follow
follow children.
Somebody asked you to follow a child because it will make their day. Why wouldn't you do that
because
for free?
they're gonna get 1 million DMs every single day. Follow my child. There's like 1 million Ohio State fans.
Yeah, but we just
if
said
they
you can
followed
just-
every single kid,
so
it would be
you
so
just
many.
you get a person to do that for you to log into your Instagram and they just follow children all day.
Dude, how
And it
much
makes their
are they
day.
gonna pay that guy? Because
Stop
they're
it.
making any money playing.
And then they can charge the adults that are weird that want to have some kind of status by paying to have a college person follow them, and it evens out.
I think if you're interested
Think of
in
all the
having
goodwill it
Hudson,
would generate.
if you want Hudson to run your social media, you might not have him do that.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea though.
He'll
I
be
think
following everyone.
for little kids or people that could be a really cool thing.
So how much would you guys charge to follow somebody?
Charge?
Yeah.
Like if someone wanted to follow us?
Yeah, you want to get on this thing?
Well, okay,
Think about how much money we could be making.
we'll start at $5.
$5.
We'd be making tens of dollars
Oh, every
if we
time.
joined up.
No, you're welcome to follow no matter what.
Yeah, they can follow you, but are you going to follow them?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
that's
So
the
how
thing.
much would it have to be? How much would somebody have to pay you?
Let me think about it, all right? I got to go over my whole brand and just see.
My budget.
Do you have a number, Isaiah?
See, for me, it'd be like $5 probably.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it for me. Not too much.
Everybody start Venmoing Isaiah $5
saving up.
for the
You can follow
Instagram
me.
follows.
Actually, no. Why don't we just not put like $5 on? Let's just say you have to buy us a meal. You have
A
to get
snack.
Sure, yeah.
some sort of lunch or something.
See,
Send me a snack.
Mine
That'll
would
do
be
it.
mine would be a variable rate. It depends on how what's on your page.
Yeah.
Because if it's like swastikas, it would have to be a lot of money. But if it's just if it's just normal, it'd probably be like $50.
Okay. Again,
$50.
Yeah.
we're not.
That's what I start with, and then the more objectionable your page is, I might still follow it, but it have to be a lot of money.
They're like,
All
who should I ask to follow? I'll pay $50. Do I want CJ Stroud or Hudson? This is a tough decision. I don't know.
Oh, actually, he fooled you all. He doesn't even have an Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. So you'd have to really pay me a lot.
He's just trolling you.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
Are you ready for this? Movie Pass. It's really coming back.
Wow, Movie Pass
Really.
like had its heyday a long time ago where you bought a monthly subscription pass and it went through changes, but basically you got to go to the movie theater and see in the beginning a whole lot of movies for like a 1 monthly fee.
Back in the day, its heyday, it was, I think it was like $15 a month, and you could see a movie every day.
Yeah.
And so obviously that was a great deal. And it was too good of a deal because Movie Pass eventually wound up. First, it was a big mess where they were restricting people, but now making it clear, and they weren't paying for tickets and like all this stuff. And then eventually it just went out of business, of course. But now, years later, it is coming back. It's actually coming back in just a couple weeks. So here's the deal. Starting Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern, you can sign up for a standby list on the, I guess it's going to be whatever the Movie Pass website will be. You can sign up to be on the standby list. They're going to choose people from there. That is a 5-day thing. From there, they're going to choose people, see who makes the cut to become a Movie Pass subscriber. And by September 5th, you will know if you get to subscribe to Movie Pass or not. And then if you are one of the lucky chosen few, you'll be able to start using Movie Pass. Supposedly, it looks like for Labor Day weekend.
Just in time for no movies.
Yeah, well, I think that's a smart move.
I think that's actually why, because it won't be overwhelming for Movie Pass, but it's also not the best deal for you because there's not a lot of big or like tempting movies.
Yeah.
So I don't think people will go and like really overload it by trying to go see too much.
Right. There's no Top Gun Maverick or Black Panther right away.
Sure.
That's going to excite people. But see, that was the beauty of Movie Pass. I can't tell you how many movies me and my wife went and saw with Movie Pass that we would have never seen, not movies that we wouldn't have seen in theaters, movies we wouldn't have seen at all. But because we had the Movie Pass,
You just went.
It was like, yeah, might as well go. It's basically free. Let's go. We'll get some free popcorn and maybe buy a drink, and it's a night out, and it's a lot of fun. And it's on Movie Pass's dime, pretty much.
So at this point, the standby list will be open for 5 days, and then you'll be notified by September 5th. The only question is, how much will it be? And how often?
I don't know if that's the only question. There's a lot of questions.
Right. I mean, the first question.
One, will this actually ever get you a movie ticket, even if you do sign up? Because I think that's still up in the air.
How much will it be? And the other bigger question is they want to know if first run movies.
Yeah.
Because they talked about with Movie Pass's return that they might limit you to, okay, this movie's been in theaters for like 2 or 3 weeks. You can see that, but maybe you won't be able to see a movie on its first opening weekend.
Yeah, that was one of the restrictions, one of the bigger restrictions they put in place near the end of days for Movie Pass. Well, I can tell you that for the pricing, it's going to be based off of your zip code, and then there's also going to be different tiers, so that's not confusing
good
at
luck,
all.
everybody.
$10,
Good
$20,
luck.
or $30 a month, which it just depends, and we just have no way of knowing at the moment. And then we also don't know. So I think this is really important to note. It says Movie Pass is partnered with 25% of movie theaters in the United States. That's not very many.
That's not.
And
There's not many left.
one of the things that Movie Pass did was force some of the big theater chains, such as AMC, Regal, Cinemark, basically the biggest chains in the U.S. Actually, almost all of the theater chains have come up with their own subscription service. So why would they? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it probably doesn't hurt them too much if Movie Pass is actually still going to be paying for tickets and people are going to go. But at the same time, they've got their own subscription. Why should they partner with MoviePass? So,
Well, if you want to learn more about MoviePass, I did not know this, but Mark Wahlberg is working on a documentary series.
Oh, that sounds like a real good time.
So it's supposed to show the rise and the fall, and the rise and the bigger fall,
and the massive drop off of a cliff,
and the trying to climb back up, or whatever this is.
Yeah, well, I'm still have to be hopeful.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
Before you complain about your workplace culture today, listen to this. We've got a report out of China where a technology company is being accused of punishing their employees in a very odd way. Apparently, if an employee stepped out of line, they were forced to swallow a raw egg.
As in, like, crack it open and the inside? Or are we talking we're eating the whole thing?
I don't know if, I guess it's possible to do that, to chew into an egg that's that's not been cooked, shell and all. But
Now,
I think since we're talking swallowing, I think they just had to swallow the yolk.
Well, unless you're into that and you're like, yeah, it's like free protein.
Right, exactly. I mean, some people do that every day. Gaston
breakfast
comes to
anyways.
mind from Beauty and the Beast, and we all know how he turned out.
Yes.
So the size of a barge.
That was the start of his problems?
It might have been. It was definitely part of it.
So you would have to swallow raw eggs if you didn't get enough orders in during a set period of time. So what they basically would say, if you did not meet management expectations.
That's a wild way to do it.
What an odd one.
I don't even know if I guess I've never had a raw egg, so I don't know what it tastes like. Although when you mix it in with cake batter,
it's not
all
bad.
of a sudden it's not too noticeable.
A little bite here or there.
Actually, maybe who knows? Maybe that's what makes cake batter so good is the raw eggs, and we're not even realizing.
So they say the company's not really bothered by the problems that it's causing for them. They say that eating raw eggs is actually stipulated. Wow, that's weird. It's stipulated in the employee handbook.
Oh, wow. So they're not even denying it.
They're not even denying it. They're not hiding it. So all of its employees know what would be required of them. So they were questioned about the legality of the rule, and they said, what law is preventing you from eating a raw egg? So they don't care.
I love that line of thinking. Is it in the Constitution that you can't eat a raw egg at work? If we can't force you to do that, then I guess it's just fine.
And they say that the employees knew that this would be the outcome if they didn't meet that.
Did they know, or should they have known, and they just didn't read the handbook? Because that also sounds like something everybody would do.
It's true. Well,
I read the handbook.
Here's another option, though. So they say that employees, if you did not want to consume a raw egg, your punishment, you could also instead swallow a whole tube of mustard.
Ooh.
So if you didn't want the raw egg, you could do mustard, and then that's it.
Which one would you go with? If we have a really bad show and it's all your fault, which would you choose?
How often? Because, I mean, if I have to eat eggs all the time, I don't know. Maybe a little mustard. I maybe do every other.
You'd swap it out?
I'd swap it out.
You don't want it to get stale, you know. You
don't want your punishment to get, used to it.
Right, yeah. I mean, I guess at some point, then it's not even a punishment if you're used to swallowing an egg.
Another Chinese company years ago was in trouble because they forced allegedly workers to eat cockroaches. Now that's worse.
Hey, we've done that, though. For work, we've done it. We have.
I think it was a cricket. It wasn't a cockroach.
Yeah, well, what's the difference?
And another company made employees crawl through the street for their poor results.
You think we'd be in better shape if we had to eat an egg every time we messed up, or would that actually make us stop screwing up?
I don't know. I think Isaiah would be into it, though, because he's bulking up now.
That's right. He just does that anyways.
He'd totally be like, thank you for the free eggs.
Yeah, so he'd be into it. I don't know. I just don't know if swallowing a raw egg is enough to motivate me. It'd have to be something worse.
This is The Riot. Radio U.
Football season is right around the corner, and our fantasy football draft for the Radio U League, where it is basically all of us DJs, we're all playing against each other, but also we've got a couple handfuls of listeners that have jumped in as well to play against us.
Like no one else can join it.
It's full. We cannot. There's not enough players to go. As in, like we'd be picking people off of the bench that aren't even playing in the actual NFL if we added more teams to our fantasy league.
Oh, see, that's too bad because I was going to tell Nene, who's been working on this, like, let's add more people in, but it makes sense. You just can't.
How about, here's an idea. What do you think about this, guys? We could add another league, and then you can do 2 teams, Nikki.
Oh, perfect.
Or 3 or 4, just to have a whole slate of them.
Guys, I don't want to do the fantasy
I'm barely going to be able to do the one team, let alone do more than one.
With the draft coming up next Thursday, it's time to start thinking. We put our teams in the league, obviously, but we got to name them. So it's time. We can start taking suggestions. If you'd like to text in a cool fantasy football team name to 8772 RadioU.
I love yours, Isaiah. I think yours is perfect.
Mine's so good.
It's unfair. It's so wonderful.
My name is like the best name. So if you can't see it, my name is Jim's Brownies.
Perfect.
Which works on multiple levels. It works on a lot of levels because Jim is your dog.
Yes.
Jim Brown, a famous football. No, it's not.
Jim Brown, he's the greatest Cleveland Brown of all time.
Yeah, right.
My
For some reason, I thought it was something else. And
Brownies is the nickname.
Brownies
and then Brownies is also what I call the Browns.
And they're also very good. Not the team, but the item.
I can't do the same with my name. There's no in. Like
yes,
outside
there
of
is.
NFL, that's it.
It doesn't have to be an alliteration, though.
Well, it just works better.
Listen, have you came up with any ideas for Nikki?
For Nikki, no. I was gonna say, first of all, I'll tell you what I have gone with in the past because I don't play too often. But I would go with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but I'd spell it like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I love that one.
That's what I've gone with before.
Cute.
But I've done, used that already. So I need to come up with something new and different for myself.
Oh no, that one's perfect.
No, I want
That's a good
new one. It's time for something new. But for Nikki, no NFL players.
Yeah.
You don't have a favorite team.
Right.
So that's going to make it difficult to find an angle for yours.
You're making me feel like it's my fault.
See, I have at least one idea for Nikki.
Let's hear it.
So people can text in. Let's see if you can beat this one. I think she should be Nikki's Nuggets.
No.
That's what I think she should be. Because it's the only alliteration I come up with that's an N. That's literally the only one I could come up with that was an N.
Isn't that another type of team or
That's a
something?
basketball.
The Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, I want to be a football thing.
Outside of that, that's all I've got for you.
Let's see. What could we do with
an
Nikki?
N?
Is there like a pun, though? Like, I like puns.
Maybe I should come up with a player that I like or a team.
Uh-huh.
You could also do that.
Why don't you guys pick one?
Why don't you name one player?
One player, Tom Brady.
There you go.
You could be
Nikki's Brady
The Brady Bunch.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's so obvious, though, isn't it?
It was so obvious we were able to come up with it on the spot. That's how you know it was obvious.
It would have been such a good team name in the 1970s. But now, this is 2022. We got to come up with something better for you.
Well, Tom, I love yours. Nikki's Bears, because I like Bears.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Bears is a team, but they're not very good, are they?
No, they're pretty bad.
Pretty much the worst,
The
actually.
worst. So I can't, Tom, be the worst.
You could incorporate that, though, somehow. Like, how could we incorporate barely interested? How about that?
Oh, that's a perfect
Barely
team.
interested. That's a good one.
Yeah, there we go.
I just don't want to lose our fantasy football league. I want to try on it, but I just don't understand any of it. So I feel like I need some hand holding during this and someone just to tell me what to put down.
Yeah.
But now I even have to come up with a name for my team.
There's even more work than you thought.
I know. No
So
one
much
explained
more.
This feels like something you would embrace, though. This feels like the fun part, you know? It's like coming up with a cutesy name for your Instagram for Halloween or whatever.
Yes, but I don't understand or know any of the players. So I feel like I'm just going to be pointing and picking.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. If you can't excel at the name, you have no chance at excelling in the actual playing of the sport.
I don't want to lose is what it is. I don't want a punishment. Let's see. Marcus says Brady lady or ladies. Brady ladies.
like
Brady ladies.
Why does that feel so perfect?
It does.
Yeah.
So that could be it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll keep, if you want to keep texting in, maybe we'll put a thing up on the socials to get people to chime in with some ideas as well. Because Nikki needs a good one.
I do. So how long do I have?
Well, I mean, you can change your name all season long if you'd like.
Well,
But it needs to be set before we do the draft.
I think so. The draft is next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Okay.
So, have a brainstorming session and see what you come up with.
All right, guys, we're having another meeting out of the show side. We'll have to figure it out.
Well, I'd much rather use our work time for this than other things.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
So it's important to go to the gym, at least so we're told, but it's not easy,
Yeah,
right? It's
sure.
hard to convince yourself to go get a workout in
Well, it takes time. It's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's boring.
Yeah, you don't always. I know you're supposed to feel good afterwards, but that's not always how it is. And so we have a chain of gyms that is trying a creative approach to get you back in the gym and feeling good about it. It is a company called Blink Fitness, and they are now offering something they call gymnosis.
Ooh.
And that's trademarked. So don't other gyms go using this term. Gymnosis is what it sounds like. It is hypnosis to get you to go to the gym.
So to get you in, or just like to enjoy working out, or whatever your block is to not want to work out anymore?
It says that the hypnosis sessions are going to help you get and stay motivated to work out. That is how they're putting it. So this launches on September 12th. They're offering it in gym and virtually. And it is complimentary.
Oh, it's free.
Yeah, because
45 minutes.
They really want to get you going here. Go to the gym. Now, Blink Fitness, it looks like, is based out of New York, so I don't know if they're all over the place. And even though they say they offer virtual sessions, I don't think that just means like if you're in some state where they don't have a Blink Fitness gym, because they obviously most of all want you to go to Blink Fitness. But still, it is an interesting idea. Now, here's what Carolyn Barnes, the certified clinical hypnotherapist and wellness expert, who certifies that. She is leading the virtual hypno sessions. She says, logic, reasoning, and willpower are not always enough to convince ourselves to exercise.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's starting to sound more like a cult, isn't it?
It's like one of those like timeshare things.
Yeah, right?
They're trying to get you in, and they'll do anything.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel kind of misled. I'm starting to feel a little suspicious. But she says, hypnosis is a purely natural state that can offer direct access to the subconscious mind, where our learned behavior pattern making systems reside. By accessing the subconscious mind, we can start to change the default switch from old patterns that don't serve us to new ones that do.
I'm feeling hypnotized already.
Yeah, it's starting to really feel like either she's just way smarter and like has really figured out some kind of process to unlock the mind, or this is a total scam. And even though the gymnosis session is free, you have to get a Blink Fitness, and it's going to be $1 million.
They're going to try to get you in. So it is 45 minutes. It's a group setting because I feel like you're more impressionable around groups, around more people, 10 to 30 people, and you can, try to change your gym mindset. I want to find a gym friend. That's what I want.
A gym friend?
Yeah, I don't want to go like. I was thinking like maybe you get like a personal trainer or something.
Yeah.
But I don't want anybody to yell at me.
Right.
I just want
Okay, so you don't want me to be your gym friend.
No,
then.
I don't want like someone to yell and motivate you that way. I just someone to nicely motivate by like, hey, let's just go together and have a good time.
You know, that works really great. I found with like dieting and stuff like that, that works great when one of the friends is really motivated, but it also comes crashing down when one of the friends is really not motivated.
Yeah.
And they go, you know what, why don't we just not today? And then and you're like, oh, okay. And it gives you an excuse once the other person is the one saying it. So it can be a double-edged sword.
Or
right there.
it tears your friendship apart because like say they get really like bulked up and like it really works for them while you can do nothing.
Yeah, that would be, so you can't be happy for your friend?
Well, that's hard.
No, it puts some strain. It could definitely put some strain. I don't know. I'm trying to. I told you my workout routine, right? It's doing one more push-up every day.
That's right. How's it going?
I'm at 18.
Hey, what gym?
Yeah, right. That's all I need. Can you see? Oh, look at this. Look at this right here.
18
That's 18
push-ups.
push-ups right there.
You're doing good.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
Instagram, which that's going to be important here in a moment. Now, I don't know much about Isaiah. We're coworkers. We're not friends.
Aww,
but one of the
you were awful disrespectful to him. What a start.
Alrighty then.
We've never hung out outside of work, have
You've
we?
never invited me over to your house, oddly
You've
enough.
never
I've
invited me
extended
over.
my invite to my hot tub many a times to you.
Yeah,
he has
but
never came.
There's always a tone.
Last night
about
was
it.
Bachelorette night. Didn't come again. This is now like the 13th
Well, that's
week
because
in a
your
row.
other friends are there, and that's weird.
No, yeah,
Intimidating.
they don't want to meet me. They don't trust me.
You're like, hey, here's my work friend. You can be a work friend. I think that works.
My
but
work buddy.
I don't think I'd fit in with Isaiah's crowd.
My work acquaintance, I guess, now.
But one of the things I do know about Isaiah, because he's done it here at work, is that he loves the new app, BeReal.
You do?
Yeah, I do love the new app
Yeah.
BeReal. I tried to get Hudson in it. He said he didn't want to be in a picture with me, so weird.
Yeah.
Another
You're not
sign.
friends, so
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
why?
I don't know if he does it. Well, so BeReal works like it just randomly at some time of day says, now is your time to take a picture, and then you have a window, right?
Yeah,
where you
once a
have
day.
to take a picture.
Yeah, so it
in the
pretty
app.
much says like you have like 2 minutes to get your BeReal in for it to be on time, which it doesn't have to be on time. You can essentially take it whenever you want and post it, but you can only put it in one picture a day.
Okay.
Can you
and
edit
so,
it once you're done with it? Or
You can retake it
You can retake
as many
it.
times as you want, but it does show how many retakes that you
Ooh.
took. So if you took like 30 tries, people can see that that's the result of 30 tries. So like we'll comment on like our friends ones, and we're like, really, this is what 6 tries got you? This is what you look like after 6 tries?
Wow, it sounds like a horrible app.
Yeah,
Very
that's
mean,
my friends,
very
all right.
insulting. It's just really tough on
Plus-
people's mental health. But
just to kind of motivate you to get a more candid look
Right.
at
Yeah.
social media again, compared to, like if you go over to Instagram, where we work our hardest to make those candid shot looks,
Perfect.
to make those not candid
shot
shots
look
look
too
candid.
Look candid, yeah.
Well,
takes too long.
Instagram has noticed the success that BeReal has been having. And so now it seems that they are working on testing out what some people are calling, I like this term, murder clones.
That's an amazing name.
It's an aggressive term, but it's true. It's where these big companies will come up with basically a direct copy of a feature that's on a smaller app that they want to make sure that they, take out that app and just keep people in Instagram or whatever the other thing may be before the other thing catches on too much. So Instagram has developed what they call Instagram IG Candid Challenges, which is basically the same exact thing as BeReal.
So they're trying to murder clone BeReal.
Yeah. So how does this make you feel as the one person in here who actually uses BeReal?
See, I don't know. I feel like this never really works. Like when Twitter did like the Fleets thing or whatever, where it was supposed to be like
Well, that's because
Instagram
Twitter was doing it
stories.
though.
Yeah, but I feel like it's like the same thing as Instagram stories. So like I don't know, it just like it's never hits the same when somebody tries to do the exact same thing. Because like when you go to actually use it, it feels like you're using like an off-brand, even though it is Instagram. Like it doesn't feel like an actual BeReal.
But I think that's because you do use that for the average Instagram user who's not yet used BeReal. BeReal would seem like the weird
Yeah,
one.
Yeah,
right.
it's
So
true.
that's
And there's-
why they have to, start using that technology or those ideas real early on.
And even though BeReal is catching on, there's still a lot more people that have used Instagram that have never even heard of BeReal. But once they see this feature in there, if it actually gets a wide release, they're going to be like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah, but I think as well, like you have a very different audience on BeReal as well. Like my BeReal on Instagram, like I have however many followers that I don't even really know that I post on there. And so I would feel much more awkward posting a BeReal picture on Instagram rather than on BeReal. It's literally just my
Closer
friends.
friends,
It's all my
yeah.
like close friends. I only have like 20 people on there, where like on Instagram I have 1,000 or whatever people that
Oh,
I'm not really that close with. Be quiet. But I'm not really that close with. But like I'm very comfortable putting the pictures out there that I do because I know they're like, these are good photos of me, right? I wouldn't be comfortable putting pictures out there that I post on BeReal on my Instagram story for sure.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens because, if you look at Instagram's history, Snapchat stories became stories on Instagram. Reels is because of TikTok.
Yep,
so, they're known for just taking the stuff and then they roll with it.
So what about you, Nikki? Isaiah uses Instagram, but you have not used BeReal. Would you use Instagram Candid?
Would you be real on Instagram?
Yeah.
He's like, no.
It depends on if on Instagram they'll ask you or they'll show how many takes.
How many takes this take? Nikki's like, can I put a filter on it or no? Can I put a
'Cause
filter on it?
I can't tell you how many times I tell Eric to take the picture and be
Like,
just
again.
please make me look good.
Again.
You guys just can't go through life without being self-conscious, can you?
Nope.
You should try it. You should try just
You
losing
don't even have Instagram. Maybe you should get on there.
inhibition because it's too fake for me.
It seems as if maybe you're a little scared. I can't be sure.
To be real.
Oh, God.
Maybe you need to get on BeReal. Add me on BeReal. We'll see if we're friends then.
All right, I'll do it.
Do it.
I'll get a BeReal. I will do it.
I'm going to screenshot
that's just how
BeReal
I
every
like
day.
it. I like
Post on RadioU's Instagram.
I like to keep it real.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.